Stanford have just discovered how to grow the male tool by up to
Okay, here he is. Let's welcome Link Ray. Okay, here he is. Let's welcome Link Ray.
Oh yeah, this is Link Ray. This is the only song to have ever been banned, the only instrumental to have ever been banned from the radio. Yes, Link Ray was that badass and he had that much swagger. Check him out. Bring it down, Greg.
Step into Wix Studio. The web
Okay, here he is. Let's welcome Link Ray.
Whoa, what is this doing to me? All right. Boy, do we even know where to start. Well, it looks like we've got a winner from Autism Speaks. Yes, 6 hours old. Let's take a look. All right.
We wanted help.
Autism Speaks videos. All right. A person with autism is amazing. Can be my ass, buddy. Look at that. He's got the puzzle piece going on there. All right, let's see what's going on.
Tyler was actually on track until around the age of 16 months. Then around 16 months, we noticed a...
Okay, already we're characterizing him as being off track. We're characterizing him as being off track right off the bat. And what happened to my live?
Significant pause and even a regression by March of 2003.
We're using languages like regression.
2003. So Tyler was then 2 years old. We were able to have the appointment, get the evaluation, and receive a formal diagnosis of autism. My husband and I, we went through a period of grief, grieving what was not, what could have been, what should have been.
Oh,
then
what an ableist! Oh my God, she is horrible. Oh my God.
I kind of needed to tuck that away because Tyler needed us to focus on what he needed. But we maintained hope and we made a commitment to ourselves and to Tyler that we would never give up. A few years into Tyler's diagnosis, I was able to refer to the Autism Speaks website. The website has always been a go-to on our quest for accurate information.
And see, and I've talked about this time and time and time again. That's exactly how they want to be portrayed. They will not mention the actual autistic community. They will not qualify the actually autistic community as if we are actually even capable of speaking for ourselves. They speak instead of us. That was just so ableist. I cannot believe she said that. I want to go back here.
2003, so Tyler was then 2 years old. We were able to have the appointment, get the evaluation, and receive a formal diagnosis of autism. My husband and I, we went through a period of grief, grieving what was not, what could have been, grieving my.
Okay, this was published just 6 hours ago from Autism Speaks, April 8th, 2024. Look how this autism mom is characterizing her son. This is on the Autism Speaks website. This is what the material they are putting out. Check it out.
My husband and I, we went through a period of grief, grieving what was not, what could have been, what should have been.
What should have been. Is that not ableist as hell? That again, they continue to portray autism in a negative light. This is David Page. Screw them, flap harder. Nobody's watching anyway, so I'm going to make a TikTok. I will show you the methodologies. You will learn, or just see how bad I screw crap up. All right. Where were we?
For the person you wish to speak to.
Published just 6 hours ago from Autism Speaks, April 8th, published just 6 hours ago from Autism Speaks, April 8th, 2024. Look how this autism mom is characterizing her son. This is on the this was
What was not. My husband and I, we went through a diagnosis of autism and receive a formal diagnosis.
Check this out. This was just put out 6 hours ago, April 8th, 2020. Okay. Check this out. You just can't make this stuff up. This was just put out 6 hours ago at the Autism Speaks YouTube channel. You just can't make this stuff up, folks. On the Autism Speaks YouTube channel just 6 hours ago, April 8th, 2024, they put out this ableist, this is part of their video.
To have the appointment, get the evaluation, and receive a formal diagnosis of autism. My husband and I, we went through a period of grief, grieving what was not, what could have been, what should have been.
What should have been. Autism Speaks just put this video out, and they say they are not ableist, and they say they want to speak for autistic people, yet this is how they think about autistic people. Autism Speaks just put this out on their YouTube channel. I did not do this. This is David Page. Screw them, flap harder. Okay, so I am going to quickly go to Da Vinci. Hopefully Da Vinci pops up here. Come on, Da Vinci. Da Vinci. Why aren't you popping up? Where are you? Oh, there you are. Okay. New project. can't make this stuff up, folks. On the Autism Speaks YouTube channel just 6 hours ago, April 8th, 2024, they put out this ableist, this is part of their video.
To have the appointment, get the evaluation, and receive a formal diagnosis of autism. My husband and I, we went through a period of grief. Grieving what was not, what could have been, what should have been.
What should have been. Autism Speaks just put this video out, and they say they are not ableist, and they say they want to speak for autistic people, yet this is how they think about autistic people. Autism Speaks just put this out on their YouTube channel. I did not do this. This is David Page. Screw them. Flap. YouTube channel. I did not do this. This is David Page. Screw them. Flap harder. All right, almost there. Upload. Then we gotta grab this one file that usually I don't show this stuff. What is it called? Something about there we go. All right. Now, get back to some semblance of reasonability here. All right, this is interesting. Just so ableist right off the bat. Just
kind of needed to tuck that away because Tyler needed us to focus on what he needed. But we maintained hope, and we made a commitment to ourselves and to Tyler that we would never give up. A few years into Tyler's diagnosis, I was able to refer to the Autism Speaks website. The website has always been a go-to.
And like I said, they always want you to go to Autism Speaks. They never mention the actually autistic community or anything else because that doesn't get them money.
On our quest for accurate information, identification of resources, accessing resources, staying abreast and aware of current policies and research.
Did you pack your workout clothes?
Yes.
Okay.
And then what after that?
I'm going to have lunch with Emily Chase Noah.
Because we knew that early intervention is key, we were very proactive. As we learned about him, we would see kind of beneath those behaviors, right? We saw
It throws down the word the behaviors. He's acting out. He's a bad kid. What a bitch. I'm sorry. I haven't said that I have not ever said that before, ever on on a live or anything else, but that's bullshit.
just a beautiful child, right? A child with so many strengths, so many amazing characteristics.
No, you're ableist. You were talking about what he should have been.
Fast forward to now, because of the supports that have been
Autism Speaks, you should be absolutely ashamed of yourself for putting this out. Unbelievable.
in place, what he's been able to access, he is able to comprehend.
Nope. Sorry about that. We're gonna let this roll from the very beginning here, and wow, unbelievable.
Tyler was actually on track until around the age of 16 months. Then around 16 months, we noticed
he was on track, but then he went off track, that sumbitch. Wow. So he was doing okay, and then one day he woke up autistic.
a significant pause and even a regression. By March of 2003, so Tyler was then 2 years old, we were able to have the appointment, get the evaluation, and receive a formal diagnosis of autism. My husband and I, we went through a period of grief, grieving what was not, what could have been, what should have been. Then I kind of needed to tuck that away because Tyler needed us to focus on what he needed. But we maintained hope, and we made a commitment to ourselves and to Tyler that we would never give up. A few years into Tyler's diagnosis, I was able to refer to the Autism Speaks website. The website has always been a go-to on our quest for accurate information, identification of resources, accessing resources, staying abreast and aware of current policies and research.
Did you pack your workout clothes?
Yes.
Okay. And then what after that?
I'm going to have lunch with Emily, Chess, Noah.
Because we knew that early intervention is key, we were very proactive. As we learned about him, we would see kind of beneath those behaviors, right? We saw
See those behaviors. It drives me crazy. It drives me
just
crazy.
a beautiful child, right? A child with so many strengths, so many amazing characteristics. Fast forward to now, because of the
no, my comment hasn't shown
but
up
we
yet.
maintained hope, and we made a commitment to ourselves and to Tyler that we would never give up. A few years into Tyler's diagnosis, I was able to refer to the Autism Speaks website. The website.
It always goes back to Autism Speaks. They always they don't refer to autistic people. They don't ever qualify as experts or knowing what we're doing or anything else. It's always Autism Speaks.
It has always been a go-to on our quest for accurate
information. Their little search engine is horrible. It's like a late 80s search engine that doesn't really take you anywhere, but it's there for a reason, and that's so that they can say that they referred people to services. That's the only reason it's there. That's the only purpose it has.
Information, identification of resources, accessing resources, staying abreast and aware of current.
And you'd be way better off on Google any day for any subject that there is on that site. Like I said, it's really more of a Fox kind of thing. It's not real.
Policies and research.
Or at least not a real help.
Did you pack your workout clothes?
Yes.
Okay. And then what after that?
I'm going to have lunch with Enriquez, Noah.
Because we knew that early intervention is key, we were very proactive. As we learned about him, we would see kind of beneath those behaviors, right? We saw just
beneath those behaviors. Beneath those behaviors. He's just a kid acting up. He's just a kid acting up. Those behaviors.
Beautiful child, right? A child with so many strengths, so many.
It's beautiful. Good looking kid, actually.
Amazing characteristics. Fast forward to now, because of the supports that have been in place, what he's been able to access, he is able to comprehend things
that too with the butter right there in the pan.
He historically hasn't been able to.
People with autism can't go to college. I had a great experience living in the dome, and I met so many new people, and I learned so many new things. I'm doing great. Oh, you have a good day?
Yeah. That had to have been hard living in the dorm, man.
Hey, how are you?
Being accepted into college and then obtaining his job. And shame on us, but we couldn't imagine at the time.
Yeah, shame on you.
The structure of the Succeed program.
Absolutely shame on you.
And the UMSL community.
And shame on Autism Speaks for actually allowing this to be on their YouTube channel.
Together provided him an amazing experience. Having to, with support, go through the application process, the interview process, and then onboarding and orientation has been huge.
The Succeed program is a program for students with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Tyler at the beginning versus Tyler graduating, the growth has been remarkable. He really has taken the initiative on what he wants to do with his life and his career. He has created a group of friends that will be his friends for a very long time. What we want to see is students like Tyler really advocate for what they need, whether it's on campus or in the workplace, advocate for that, and then grow in advocating for the supports that they need.
Adi, how are you? Not much, how are you? I'm doing great. I work at the UMSL Weight Creation Awareness Center. I'm a guest services attendant. I work on the computer to check out equipment.
You sound like a computer.
I like working with a lot of people. Hey, Anthony, how are you?
I have never heard it. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he had a speech problem or something, because his cadence is so different from what I'm used to hearing. His cadence is so unique. I've never heard. He actually, and I'm not making fun of him, he does kind of sound like a computer. Listen.
Oh, you having a good day? Anthony, do you need a towel?
He took a whole series of sport management classes, and so
I'm trying to figure out, because I have audio processing disorder and I stutter and stuff like that. So I'm like, and my son had speech issues. So I'm really curious more than anything.
Being able to apply what he learned in the classroom, so this has given him a strong foundation.
Being Tyler's manager is actually a blessing, and I say that as he's your perfect employee. He shows up every.
So we haven't interviewed him really, but we're going to interview somebody else around him. This is what Autism Speaks always does.
Every single time that he needs to, he's on time. I think it's amazing to see someone that truly is happy with life. And I've never met anybody like that. Tyler's in.
And you may not be seeing the struggles that he has. Obviously, you're not. I mean, he may be a happy fellow, and that's cool, but the dude struggles too. Don't forget that.
Impact on the student body here has been noticeable without a doubt. I think it also has given a lot of these students awareness of like, hey, it's really important to be inclusive no matter what. People just need to understand that everybody comes in so many different shapes and sizes and abilities, and Tyler will exceed your expectations.
Good shot. Good game. Are your expectations that fucking low? Really? If it's an autistic person, you should have high fucking expectations. Why the hell wouldn't you? We're talented people.
Hey, great shot, Tyler. Have fun, okay?
And we are people.
While there has been tremendous improvement with autism, right? Innovation, research, services, we also know that there remains a gap.
Really? Yeah. Understatement of the year. I know it's only April, but that's going to be the understatement of the thus far.
We want people to see, learn, understand that, again, if someone is given an appropriate level of support consistently, that they can succeed and that they can thrive.
It's the middle of the eclipse right now.
Autism Speaks was able to inform and expand our knowledge on autism and how to navigate that advocacy space for Tyler. We've exposed him to all of these things and given him all of these resources. Well, let him use those resources. Step back a little bit, right? We won't be here all the time. Just really grateful for the opportunity we were chosen to be his parents, that I was chosen to be his mom.
Yeah, too bad he got such a freaking ableist for a mom. Wow. That was really sad. I know I put, that is so weird. Why? Why? That is so weird. On my page, it shows my comment. But it doesn't on my bunk page here, which is so weird. I wonder why that is. Oh well. Okay, so there is an eclipse going on right now. Which is kind of cool. Well, it's not that impressive. Really not that much happening out in Colorado. Maybe they have to approve the comments.
Tyler was actually on track until about around the age of 16 months. Then around 16 months, we noticed a significant pause and even a regression. By March of 2003, so Tyler was then 2 years old, we were able to have the appointment, get the
Okay, thank you. All right. Whoop. Yeah. Okay, here she goes. Whoop. Yeah, that was blaring in my headphones there. It was killing me. Okay, so the first thing we got here is no matter what, if you put Autism Speaks into YouTube, you can see right off the bat that Autism Speaks is using money that's been given to them to help autistic people, to give to YouTube, to give commercials, to tell you to give more money to Autism Speaks. That's how that money was spent right there. I don't know about this. I want to see what this is.
The experiences of those living with ASD, or Autism Spectrum Disorder. ASD is a lifetime condition often identified in childhood, and in the US alone, surveys have found that 1 in 68 children have been diagnosed. Yet, with the proper support, many living with autism have the opportunity to lead functional, even extraordinary lives. To learn more about diagnosing, treating and living with autism, please visit the resource shown on the screen.
That's terrible. That's terrible. Now, so Autism Speaks has this white screen here, of course. Why do they have this white screen? That's what I want to know. Ago, April 8th, 2024, they put out this ableist, this is part of their video. So have their Okay, good. But yeah, they got this completely white page here. Why would Autism Speaks do that? And they do that all the time.
With this project, we're proud to highlight the experiences of those living with ASD.
Oops.
With this project, we're proud to highlight the experiences of those living with ASD, or Autism Spectrum Disorder. ASD is a lifetime condition often identified in childhood, and in the US alone, surveys have found that 1 in 68 children have been diagnosed. Yet, with the proper support, many living with autism have the opportunity. With this project, we're proud to highlight the experiences of those living with ASD.
So, he should have done this public service announcement for an autism awareness group that isn't a hate group. I love it. Him doing a public service announcement for Autism Speaks is like Will Smith doing an ad for the KKK. Oh, shit. No wonder most autistic people hate this show. Jesus, it takes 30 seconds worth of Googling to figure out Autism Speaks is mostly hated by the community, my guy. Okay, just to think that he has been doing this show for all this time. I have lost my respect for this dude. Completely lost my respect for this dude here. Okay, well, this was 6 years ago, so okay, I gotta give him a little bit of credit. But to think that he still To think that he did this part and that he's supposed to be this, know something, maybe have done some kind of study about autism, but he does not know that Autism Speaks is hated by autistic people. It would be his business to know that, to have Googled Autism Speaks at some point in time, Murphy has fallen to the dark side. This one actually hurt. Whoa, this almost seems helpful if I didn't know what shitty excuse for a charity this was. As a girl with ASD, my respect for Freddie just went down. Oh my goodness gracious. So I don't know how YouTube works anymore. I wonder is there a filter? Because when we go to Autism Speaks to that video there, my comment does not show up here. It shows up on mine, on my actual regular autistic page.
Tyler was actually on,
but it does not show up here. So does this have a filter or something? What did I put? I didn't put anything bad. Let me see what I put. I think I put oh, come on. All right, yeah, okay, here it is. Let's see what I put. What should have been. Was she talking about what should have been?
my husband and I, we went through a period of grief.
Listen to this. This
grieving
is so
what was not, what could have been, what should have been.
What could have been, what should have been. So I put what should have been, and it's not showing up. It's showing up on my account still, even when I refresh it. But it doesn't show up. That's so weird. Yeah, that's pretty sad, dude. That's pretty sad that he did that. He didn't know any better, I'm sure. He probably thinks he's cool. The good doctor dude. Okay, so let's see. Autism Speaks. Let's see what's in the news, if anything's new. Nope, doesn't look like it. Let's see. Recent, within the last 24 hours, maybe. Press release. Okay, nothing interesting. Darn it. Nothing interesting. What's an advanced search do? I don't know. Whoa, no, I don't care. Okay, so yeah, now I'm at the full part of the eclipse now, and it's still daylight. It's just, I remember I was out working one day. It's a little disorienting, but it was so weird because the sun hurts my skin. It really hurts my skin, and I noticed that I couldn't feel the sun on my skin, which was a very odd feeling too. Oh. Autism Speaks. Criticism. I haven't gone to this page before. Okay, so this is interesting. You know what I want to do? I want to look at speeches by Keith Wargo. Why don't we do that?
Now call the committee, Committee on Small Business Subcommittee on Innovation, Entrepreneurship, and Workforce Development to order. Without objection, the chair is authorized to declare a recess of the committee at any time.
Okay,
Now,
here's Keith
autism and developed along nationwide. Prior to joining Autism,
and it was hot, let me tell you. All business.
So what they're going to do is they're going to qualify this guy, and this is what's sad. We're going to go here, and he's going to be introducing Keith Wargo here. Okay, this is the House Committee on Small Business. Okay, and this guy's going to introduce Keith Wargo, and check out how this does not qualify autistic people. How this does not help autistic people. This is going to be about Keith Wargo and Autism Speaks. And then Keith Wargo is going to speak instead of autistic people. Check it out.
that has remained at the forefront of creating an inclusive world for people with autism. Mr. Wargo, who joined the organization
today, and I yield my time back.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank my colleagues for joining us. Let me introduce today's witnesses. First with us is Mr. Keith Wargo. Mr. Wargo is the president and CEO of Autism Speaks. Autism Speaks is a nonprofit organization that has remained at the forefront of creating an inclusive world for people with autism. Mr. Wargo, who joined the organization in October 2021, is responsible for leading Autism Speaks nationwide. Prior to joining Autism Speaks, Mr. Wargo worked for a number of leading global...
See, nobody gives a shit about actually autistic people here. And he's not going to mention you should, he's not going to say, Mr. Chairman, you should be talking to actually autistic people. No, he's going to go on and speak like he is the fucking authority.
Global financial institutions, where he developed a track record of building effective teams and helping to grow and scale businesses across sectors. Mr. Wargo was also the owner of Monarch Cypress, an amenity manufacturer with a mission to employ individuals with autism, and developed a long-standing passion for supporting the autism community, both within the workplace and beyond. Mr. Wargo graduated from Boston College with a Bachelor of Finance degree and earned a Master's of Business Administration degree from Harvard Business School. And we're grateful that you're joining us here today, and we look forward to the conversation ahead. Our next witness, as I mentioned, is Ms. Eva Walsh. Ms. Walsh is the owner of Maeve's Place, located in Phoenicia, New York. Maeve's Place has been a staple in upstate New York since...
And all the members of the committee.
...has concluded. I'll begin to tap and then loudly gavel you out of order, but I suspect that won't happen. And if that light does kick on, please wrap up your testimony. And so with that, let me recognize Mr. Wargo for your 5-minute opening remarks.
All right. Thank you, Chairman Molinaro, Ranking Member McGarvey, Chairman Williams, and all the members of the committee for hosting and hearing this today and inviting me to testify on this critical issue. My name is Keith Wargo. I'm the president and CEO of Autism Speaks. We are a national nonprofit organization dedicated to creating an inclusive world for people with autism throughout their lifespan.
People with that disease, autism.
We do this through advocacy, services, supports, research, and advances in care.
That's their canned statement he's reading.
And as an organization, we're particularly proud of the work that we've done to develop...
We. Autism Speaks, Autism Speaks, Autism Speaks. Not autistic people, and this gal's with him, evidently, because she's got the little Autism Speaks pen going on there.
And scale innovative solutions to help ensure that more autistic people can secure meaningful employment. As well as my role as president of Autism Speaks, I also come to you as a father. My wife and I, Ann's my wife, are the parents of two
And
adult.
see, this is what Autism Speaks is. The poor parents.
Children.
Not about autistic people.
Whom is on the spectrum. His name is AJ. And we've observed firsthand AJ's employment journey, witnessed firsthand with him the challenges and the struggles and the triumphs. Also, as mentioned, prior to joining Autism Speaks, I had nearly 3 decades of private service, private sector service.
All about him.
Including and remain the owner of Monarch Towel Company. We're a hospitality amenity company based in New Jersey, which has as part of its mission to employ autistic individuals. These experiences have cemented for me the belief in the necessity for the potential and inclusive employment for neurodiverse and other individuals with disabilities. Which
I'm the expert at this.
Can be a key driver, we believe, for economic growth for our nation. Despite the strive,
I'm smart. I would have had an autistic person here, but they're too damn stupid. They're too stupid to have come here. So I'm speaking instead of them. I'm Autism Speaks.
That have been made in the autism disability community for awareness and acceptance, we still face staggering challenges. In 2022, only
Autism Speaks faces big challenges.
21% of individuals with disabilities, including autism, were employed. That data underscores the persistent gap in the employment market. Further,
because his value of a human being is based on productivity, on autistic people being employed. If you're not employed, he doesn't value you. That's why he's at this business meeting, right?
over half of individuals with autism who have graduated from high school or aged out of high school in the last 2 years, only half are employed or are not enrolled in any post-secondary education.
So he wants to get people's jobs rather than change the culture. He wants people to work out in the world, autistic people to work out in the world rather than find things that we could do at home or ask us what we need. No, he's just going to do it for us instead of us without consulting us at all. Remember, he's not consulted one autistic person. No autistic people are here. He brought his people here. He probably paid for them too. I wonder if that came out of their expense accounts or his. And I think this is chairman of the board. I forget his name.
Compares unfavorably with other disabilities. These statistics highlight the ongoing need for targeted employment support and opportunities in the community. As a paradox to this, many individuals and with disabilities have the skills and the desire to work, and hiring neurodiverse people benefits the companies they work for and the overall economy. A recent study shows that companies that actively seek to employ people with disabilities outperform companies that do not. They have higher revenues, they have higher net income, they have higher profit margins. And at a national level, this analysis revealed that the U.S. GDP could get a boost of up to 25.
See? This is not centered towards autistic people. This
$1 billion if there was more disability employment going on in the labor force. But beyond these numbers, we know that there's additional benefits that accrue to individual workplaces and our society when employers embrace inclusivity. These include increased creativity and innovation in the workplace, diminished stereotypes, and reduced social stigma and discrimination.
This is completely at the exclusion of autistic people. Do you not see the problem with this? He's just there, high and mighty, going to speak for us instead of us. He didn't even invite or bring an autistic person with him.
I've learned through my personal experience with both my son and with Monarch, as well as through our work with Autism Speaks, is that small,
He didn't even bother to bring his son.
but meaningful steps taken by employers make a huge difference. This can include changing hiring practices, considering alternative processes and interviews, which can serve as a barrier to entry for many, particularly in the autistic community. It can include providing training courses to foster acceptance of the neurodiverse individuals in the workplace, and it can include major and minor changes to create adaptable workplaces through flexible schedules and making accommodations for sensory needs. One initiative that I want to focus on for a moment is what we call Workforce Inclusion Now. This is a program that we started several years ago. We call it WIN.
And the thing is see, this is all about Autism Speaks. What Autism Speaks is doing.
Evidence-based workplace development program promoting diversity in hiring and helping.
See, instead of helping autistic people, he is promoting Autism Speaks, and he's trying to get fundraising here.
Create an inclusive workplace culture in which not just the, individuals with autism, but also all employees can thrive. The WIN model is really based on an ecosystem that has three parts: employers that are committed to creating inclusive workplaces, autistic job seekers who have the skills and desire to be there and to succeed, and communities supported with resources that promote inclusive hiring. Our WIN model offers scalable solutions to diverse industries nationwide. Collaborating with the Virginia Commonwealth University's Autism Center of Education, we've created online courses accessible nationally. These courses emphasize support for higher need individuals, raise awareness of neurodiversity,
So they put a
and provide
PDF.
inclusive
So they put a PDF on their website.
workplaces. They cater to autistic job seekers and to employment specialists, covering topics from understanding autism to self-advocacy. And we see this model work, one example being Greif, formerly named Lee Container, which is a national leader in industrial packaging. In their Iowa facility, our collaboration led to them hiring multiple non-traditional employees, making alongside operational changes. It has been a true success.
Mr. Wargo, I'll have to ask you to conclude. Be happy to continue that conversation and question and answer in just a moment.
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. And with that, we'll recognize Ms. Walsh for your 5 minutes.
Now, there was nothing about autistic people.
Three things that we've learned in our journey of helping companies think through a neurodiverse employment that really move the needle. The first is really rethinking hiring processes. For many in the autism community, communication challenges exist, and so the traditional employment interviews that most of us have gone through in some points in our lives oftentimes are very challenging and are a barrier. And so we try to encourage companies to think about alternatives to those.
It's always Autism Speaks. Not qualifying and not helping an autistic person here. He's helping Autism Speaks here. He is qualifying them as the experts. That's all he is doing here to get more money.
One example would be practical skills applications, bringing somebody getting the opportunity to apply those practical skills versus a traditional just going back and forth, asking and answering questions. But I'd say, particularly with enhancements of technology, Zoom, video, et cetera, there are other ways of approaching it, but thinking about that fundamental hiring process just differently. The second thing I'd say is back to the workforce development training programs, such as I talked about with WIN.
I think she's on the executive staff there.
We think are highly effective. And they're not just highly effective for the job seeker. Right? What we try to do in those programs is to introduce them to everybody from the most senior management to human resource areas, to really frontline workers. And we think that really creates a much more accepting and embraced universe. We have a lot of companies now are coming to us and saying, we want our entire staff to use these. And then the final one I would just say is looking for opportunities to create a more accessible workplace. Sometimes that's difficult. A lot of times it's really not. To make accommodations in a workplace can mean simply addressing lighting. It can mean simply addressing.
They put out this ableist, this is part of their video.
To have the appointment, get the evaluation, and receive a formal diagnosis of autism. My husband and I, we went through a period of grief. Grieving what was not, what could have been, what should have been.
What should have been. Autism Speaks just put this video out, and they say they are not ableist, and they say they want to speak for autistic people, yet this is how they think about autistic people. Autism Speaks just put this out on their YouTube channel. I did not do this. This is David Page. Screw them. Flap harder. Can't make this. I am autistic and ADHD. I'm lost. Part of my healing journey.
Are we going to be mining the moon for helium-3? Helium might be the second most common.
When you travel a lot, the last thing you want to do is carry your deck of cards, your chips, your dice, just so you can play poker. No thanks. No matter what time zone I'm in, I can always play on global poker because there's non-stop action 24/7.
What you are seeing here is someone who decided to skip the protective eyewear and catch a permanent souvenir of the solar eclipse using their retina as film. Be conditioned, I'll shoot your back.
There have been a lot of questions from people that are not necessarily in the PDA community, wanting to know things like, but what if PDA is just trauma, or what if PDA...
Addressing some noise issues.
I have an answer for that. You see, a lot of people are working off of a behavioral...
Wow.
To allowing job coaches, more flexible hours, et cetera, all that can make a huge amount of difference, both for the individual job seeker and for the company, and have the opportunity to have that efficiency and have that opportunity to grow their team.
Thank you. Mr. Wargo, Ms. Walsh has been noted 20% of those with disabilities are employed, meaning that 80% are unemployed, and it's simply inexcusable as a society. Could you speak to some of the obstacles that you confronted in growing your business?
Well, everybody knows that there is an extreme shortage of employees, but the people with all different kinds of disabilities are pretty much lined up. They all, that I have experienced, would love to have a job. Now, for us, it's a little bit difficult. Transportation getting to us, it is a little bit of an issue. When I'm hiring people to my coffee shop, people with disabilities, they get a different, it's a little bit different hiring process. I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say I was looking at the SBA information about diversity employment and neurodiverse employment last night on the website. I found it to be quite impressive. So I say there's a good start there. I'd say it's enforcing and encouraging policies that will provide benefits, tax incentives, et cetera, to programs. But importantly, I think one thing I want to emphasize is that oftentimes a lot of programs are designed to provide an upfront payment to make an accommodation, whether it's a physical or otherwise. And some in our community, particularly the autistic community, what's more appropriate is ongoing support. So whether that's a job coach or some kind of training that continue on, it's assisted technology and that sort of thing being put in place up front is fantastic for many, but it's not applicable to both. So that kind of flexibility of thinking through the different needs there as we design programs that have benefits and incentives are important.
Thank you. My time is up. I yield back.
Thank you. With that, I'd recognize Representative Elsie from Texas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you all for being here today. I walked in the building and looked at the line wrapped around the Judiciary Committee room today, a bunch of doom scrollers waiting to see some fireworks. And
difference would be to start vocational rehabilitation earlier. Vocational rehabilitation, and we work closely with numerous VR systems through our work, but they're underfunded. They're under-resourced, and depending on the area of the country, it can be a real desert and a real pocket. That's starting early in the high school years, making it part of a student and a young individual's IEP, and trying to map out that destination together. VR it can be a very, very important part of that. I think that would be the one thing I'd point to.
Thank you very much. Ms. Walsh, ahoy, dobry den. Glad you're here. Mr. Chairman, I think we made a mistake here. We should have taken the 5-hour and 20-minute road trip up to Phoenicia to Maeve's place, because I've been perusing your website, And in addition to Maeve having a beautiful smile that's, I'm sure, drawing everybody into your shop.
Oh, God. Dude, you're a dick.
More that we can talk about, so if you would do that.
Yes, most certainly. So just a couple of statistics. 1 in 45 adults in this country are autistic. We have 5.4 million adults in the population who have been diagnosed with autism, and we have strong reason to believe that that is an underrepresented number. And there are 70 to 100,000 students or young adults every year that age into that, come out of the school system at 22. So we have a huge population. We have a huge population there that is ready. Again, what we have found through our research and through studies is that organizations benefit from an increased productivity. They increase their financials are stronger. And that individuals who are autistic or with any IDD on their staff increase loyalty, increase innovation, and increase efficiency once often small accommodations are made. So at the end of the day, we look at it as being something that is an opportunity for a huge win. And again, the number that is put together by an Accenture report recently was that the potential upside of increased disability hiring could be a $25 billion increase in productivity to the U.S. economy.
Well, that's big because so many of us are looking for employees right now. Ms. Walsh, some of the most successful American businesses were built around a need that a company's founder saw in the market. Maeve's Place is no exception. You saw a need for employment
directly out of vocational rehab programs, the value of the experience that they've had for them, the purpose and integrity it has brought to them in their time with us, the ability to continue to.
Patterson Autos, where it's all about you. Hey, it's John Patterson here at the OC Auto Team, and we are so... Patterson Autos, where it's all about... Hey, it's John Patterson here at the OC Auto Team, and we are so honored to donate over $25,000 to Autism Speaks for our celebration in the month of March. So to each of you, thank you so much for all that you do, and thank you so much for allowing us to participate with your wonderful charity. You flew out all the way from New York.
Flew all the way out to New York. Fantastic to be here. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much to you and your team. Our mission is to help people with autism to fulfill.
That is so sad. So sad to see. So sad to see. Let's see what he says.
They're having the most fulfilling lives that they can. And this goes a tremendous way of helping. So thank you so much.
We're so grateful to participate, and this all came because one of our customers shared the comment with us. So grateful to be punching a check, and a big check and a small one. So thanks to Autism Speaks, and we're so grateful to partner with you. And we look forward to it next year as well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
There he is. Thanks for the money. That's all he has to say is thanks for the money. Thanks for the money. Okay, this is... Let's see if we're going to talk about Autism Speaks.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification.
And the VW4 model is a really cute, like
obviously we support autism and trying to fund different programs and such. So we try to do things as well as
and things like that. And so what I've noticed is there's a huge clash that tends to happen during this month, to the point where advocates like us, other pages, other charities and organizations actually come under attack during April. And I found that to be a really strange phenomenon, because it's kind of like the opposite of the intention of the month.
Well, it's interesting because it's like whoever is like yelling like, oh, okay, you're not embracing autism enough or whatever. It's like they're trying to get like brownie points for what they're saying versus like what they're actually doing. So like it kind of is like a weird narrative that they're kind of pushing, because rather than just saying like, obviously we support autism and trying to fund different programs and such. So we try to do things as well as talk. I mean, Lee and I tend not to really shut up very much, but I mean, we're not like aggressive, like in your face naturally. We're just kind of more laid back. But it seems like the fight is like, unless you are like very like aggressive and like almost like domineering to like other individuals, you're not doing enough to like push the envelope for like autism acceptance, which is not really in at least my nature. Like I've never been like a super pushy person to try and get anything. So I mean, I feel like there's so many better ways to have like a conversation, or I mean, to put together like a grassroots effort to kind of build things up that way. So it is very interesting kind of.
Okay, let's take a look at this. Okay, notice the white screen here. Notice the white screen. Just saying. Autism Speaks doesn't seem to realize that autistic people have light sensitivities, so they love their white backgrounds. And all this
1, 2, 3.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
Oh, this is wonderful.
Wow. Bridget, what do you think?
Oh, you said speak.
Oh, I love it. It's fantastic. And I get it.
Pink and yellow.
They're like a yellowish, orangish.
It's like a rainbow. I really like the rainbow puzzle piece. It's really cool. It's all in.
And guess what? 90% of the actually autistic community, not this community, not these people here, hate that puzzle piece. And Autism Speaks knew it, and that's why they made this ad, to justify keeping that puzzle piece, rather than just getting rid of it. This is what we're talking about with the total disregard of autistic people by Autism Speaks.
Inclusive, all encompassing.
Instead, they want to put out this ad and be manipulative.
For a long time, I've loved the blue puzzle piece that we all first were
Bullshit. 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 This does not represent the actually autistic community. This represents a very small portion of the autism parent, the people who have been through ABA, Autism Speaks community, not the actually autistic community. This represents a very thin, sliver of actually autistic people. And they know that, and that's why they put this ad out, to justify their behaviors. You want to talk about behaviors? Autism Speaks has some behaviors. Check it out.
Exposed to. And now, so it's an improved version, and it's more reflective of, where we're going and not where we were.
No, it's not. And you know it. And then all this white, that is just appalling. So absolute, it's just appalling. Big day, Autism Speaks. What's this, 3 years ago?
Right here, baby. Look. Uma. ¿Cuántos años tienes?
Something more than a birthday is happening here. Once you can see it, you can help. The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for
So
your
he goes up and tickles him. So he goes up and tickles an autistic kid. Really? Really? And you're going to show that you should go up and touch autistic kids. That's what you think you should be doing to autistic kids, is touching autistic kids.
of difference for your
That's what you think.
time of difference for your child.
Huh?
The sooner you can make a lifetime of
See?
difference for
Do you know how awful that can feel? No. Because they're not around autistic
your
people.
child.
They don't know. Kids
Start by
watch that
answering
tape
a
while they
few
wasn't
simple
even
questions
autistic.
at screenforautism.org.
Meet Susan M. Autism Speaks. Boy, we're just watching one. It may not be in English.
Antes del diagnóstico, Susan era una niña feliz, sonreía, se despedía del papá, bye, lo saludaba, jugaba con las hermanas. Era fantástica. Susana de repente cambió de la noche a la mañana. Ya no era la misma, su mirada no tenía brillo, era apagada, era...
Okay, so, at least they're talking about the kids starting out here. That's
Se
kind
la
of nice,
veía-
but now it's going to switch to the parents and how devastated they were.
infeliz, solo
About how awful it was.
lloraba y yo no sabía lo que estaba pasando. Se golpeaba la cabeza, comenzó a caminar en puntas, una situación muy desesperante para toda la familia.
It was very troubling
Yo
around the whole
comencé a
family.
buscar información en el internet sobre todo.
And now we're going to credit Autism Speaks, not the autism. We never ever credit the autism community. We never ever suggest that the autistic community might know something.
Todos los síntomas que mi hija tenía y yo vi que todos esos síntomas correspondían al autismo. Fue de una sorpresa, fue como un balde de agua fría que nos
It was like a bucket of cold water had been dropped on me. See, this is now where we're going to talk about how awful it is.
cayó. A Susan después del diagnóstico le dieron ABA en la casa.
So, okay, I'm wrong. They're going to go into promoting ABA. That's kind of a surprise. I mean, not a surprise that they would promote ABA. Definitely not. But a surprise they haven't gone in the pity party yet.
Y ABA en un preschool.
Que es una terapia de cómo cambiar el comportamiento que ella tenía en ese tiempo.
Hola, Susan.
No, it didn't help her. It helped you. It made her look and behave like you wanted her to. That's not helping her. That's helping you.
Hi, Susie. Dile bye, bye, Bus. Bye, Bus. Bye, Bus.
Nosotros hemos visto muchos cambios, más que todo en su comportamiento.
Big. B-I-G. Yeah, B-I-G.
So she's being brainwashed and she's probably being tortured or whatever, and so she is behaving more like you want her to. Yeah.
También en lo que es
That's
su
what we expect from ABA. That's what happens.
educación. Ha aprendido a leer, a hacer sumas.
When kids get older and you teach them and you take the time to teach them, they learn. Amazing, whether they're autistic or not.
30, 40.
It doesn't mean that God did it. It doesn't mean that Autism Speaks did it. It doesn't mean the ABA did it.
Very good. Give me 5. Susan ahorita está en el programa de deportes. Y en el deportes a ella le encanta mucho porque ella se ha podido relacionar con otros niños.
I'm really happy they didn't go into the big pity party except for the ice bucket. Felt like an ice bucket had been poured on my head.
Ya tiene su grupito de amigos y ella es feliz.
Susan es muy amable, social cuando ella conoce a la gente y también es muy activa en el programa de deportes. Estos tipos de programas son buenos para niños como Susan porque avanzan en sus skills sociales.
Yeah, do you realize what's going on?
Pueden tener amigos también.
So they have this girl, this autistic girl, in that loud gym with no hearing protection.
En socializar. Can we shoot? Let me see.
Yo a Susan la quiero
With
ver
all
ya
that stuff
una
going
mujer hecha y derecha, que se sepa valer por ella mismo, que ella se sepa expresar lo que ella quiere, que se desarrolle en el habla, para que de
And
aquí
see,
en
this
20
whole
años
time,
sea una
Autism
mujer
Speaks is up here. They're taking
independiente,
credit for this.
que ella
This is how this
sepa
commercial is structured.
vivir.
See? Autism Speaks.
Susan es la razón de mi vida. Susan es un ser maravilloso que Susan nos ha...
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Let's see. Autism Speaks Challenging Behaviors Toolkit. Okay. This is from Autism Speaks. Now, let's see if there's anything that is practically applicable, or are they just saying that they have something that works? And notice this nice white page that they love to do on Autism Speaks.
What should families do in a crisis situation?
Yeah, I think in an immediate crisis, obviously, it's going to be very individualized as to what is going to work with that individual. Unfortunately, sometimes we do have to abandon a behavior plan in the moment to keep things safe, and that's not the time to...
You shouldn't have a behavior plan in the first place. That's horrible. You should never, ever do that.
To teach something new, to help somebody learn a lesson. It's just time to make sure that everything is safe, that you're reaching out, that you're asking for help, that you're not ashamed, that it's not a situation that you can handle by yourself. And when you get to a place of calm, then you talk about, okay, how do we address this? How do we put proactive strategies in place to make sure that this doesn't happen again?
Where can families turn if they feel unsafe in a crisis situation?
Unfortunately, there isn't always a crisis team available to help you when you're in a crisis situation, and reaching out to the police might or might not be the right thing for you and your family to do at that time. If there's any way to reach out to your local...
They're liable to shoot somebody, particularly if they're autistic. So if you want your autistic love member or whatever unlifed, go ahead and call the police, because that's very likely to happen. They will shoot first and ask questions later. Even if you tell them they're autistic, they don't care. They're going to get aggressive as soon as they get on site.
Local community.
That is the police. And of course, you know what happens when you get aggressive with an autistic person. They get defensive, and it gets worse. So the police will always make the situation worse, and at best, they won't kill your loved one. And no matter what, it will be ruled as within policy when they killed your autistic loved one. That's what always happens.
To neighbors, to formulate your own crisis intervention team where you can talk to...
By the way, I was a peace officer for 15 years. Here we go with the white page again.
Neighbors or somebody who's local and accessible to you about the types of things that could be helpful when your family is in a crisis. I think sometimes people are surprised at how willing people in their community are to help.
So she's got the Autism Speaks pen. That was completely useless. Ottawa?
Leo is 9-year-old, one of our twins, and he was diagnosed with autism at about 2 years old. So we'd like to get involved in the Autism Walk as much as we can to help support it and help awareness to the cause. So anytime we can come and participate in the walk and raise money for autism, we want to do as much as we can.
You know, I don't necessarily have a personal...
Okay, so that's not an Autism Speaks thing. Although it's got a little bit on there about Autism Speaks. It's really not going to talk about that. Okay.
My son Brian.
This is not Autism Speaks channel, so let's see what they have to say here.
Is 15. One of the challenges he has is controlling his emotions. It's hard because you know that he doesn't know what to do with those strong feelings.
Okay. It's Colleen's story. It's not the autistic person's story. It's about their terror. Yeah.
The doctor said Brian needed to have a review to see if he was possibly autistic.
Oh, wait. This has at the very end of it has an Autism Speaks thing.
Advice. Brian really just kind of embraced it, that he was different and it was unique and special, and I love that about him. That just makes me feel good that he's proud of who he is.
So that wasn't put out. Here we got another one. Let's go. This is from Autism Speaks.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Hannah is a very adorable, very lovable young woman. She is typically happy most of the time. She is on the ball. She knows her schedule.
It was a relatively easy pregnancy, and there was nothing to know as far as
See, it's always from the parent's perspective.
if she had any type of developmental delays or autism or anything.
I think it's important that people realize that autism is just a way of life.
She's just a joy to be around as far as, like, she's loving and caring, and she always wants to meet new people.
Hi.
Hi, Hannah.
How's your day?
Pretty good so far. How's your day?
My day was fun.
Having a sister like Hannah really made me a better person because I know they're a human being like me or like anyone else. They just want someone to talk to them and really have like a friend, kind of. Like, she's kind of like my best friend.
She doesn't really have the social cues, so sometimes, you know, she may go up to somebody, ask them questions. Once you get to know her, you know that she's just like every other teenager.
Nice singing, girl.
Based on the special education and the law, she is able to stay at high school one more year. I really feel like we're going to have to figure out a transition plan as far as aging out of services, because you're not going to have that comfort of being in a school and the structure. I have to make sure that she has activities to do and she's able to function and have the right resources in place and the right people to help her be successful.
I think she needs to work on her
Autism Speaks, Autism Speaks, Autism Speaks this whole time.
functional communication, because once she's out of here, everybody in the world doesn't understand our kids the way that we do. And then color all the way down. Good girl. And they can't always read the signs, and she needs to be able to
Good girl, like a dog.
advocate and say, I need this, or I'm feeling this way, or I really don't like it when you do that.
Good job, Han. All right, can we pass it to Tommy?
Tommy. And what can you say?
Tommy, is it?
I think it's important in her class and as well as her work sites that she's developing life skills and real life opportunities to do jobs that any person could be trained to do. I mean, these are skills you need in real life anyway, and hopefully it will make her marketable.
22.
I can see that.
And once again, this is about our self-worth as human beings being based upon our productivity. See how worried everybody is about this productivity?
She's really like learning work ethics by just having conversations with her.
I just wanted to be happy.
And I'm not saying this is right or wrong, but this is definitely a big priority, and it is true that human beings' self-worth are not self-worth, but worth around the planet is measured by one's productivity.
Being healthy
So that's
with
what
regards
these people are worried about. Yeah, see, we got more autism. Yeah.
to how she feels, and you know, that she's able to express her wants and needs and be able to, you know, communicate and make friends. I think it's really important for her.
So sad. All right, I am gonna I'm gonna get out of here for a little while. I'm gonna go eat, and let's see. I will be probably back in about an hour and a half or so, and I will be actually on TikTok also.